Hi, I'm Joey Gaspierik. I work on the enterprise sales team here at AnswerRocket, and I support our serial partners worldwide, or CPW accounts, and I'm here with one of our great partners, Chris Potter, on the global applied analytics team there at CPW. And one thing I want to talk about today is, Chris, we've worked for 2 years together on different projects, different analytics projects, and we've seen a lot of success, over 100 users there at CPW that are leveraging the solution with room to grow, right? And we see Copilots as a way to do that. And where we focused initially on this Copilot journey is a really tough to tackle use case around unstructured data, structured data, these high-level macroeconomic questions that come in. Hey, what's driving the conditions in the market, in the EU market, and how are consumers reacting at the shelf with what they're purchasing? I mean, you're combining the dozens of documents that take hours to sift through with Nielsen research to understand what's actually happening in the marketplace itself. It's a tough project. So a couple of questions for you. How often do these questions come up at CPW?
Well, I guess, Joey, these questions are coming up all the time from our regions and our global teams, wondering what's going on in terms of not just sales data, but wondering what's going on from the macro environment and how that applies beyond breakfast cereal.
Yeah, and whenever these questions come up, obviously, you've mentioned they come up in these high-level strategy meetings, and then it takes a long time to answer these questions. So, talk about the process of going in, doing the research, and how long that might take.
Yeah, so what we do is we get the question in, and then we're thinking, well, where do we go to look for the answers? You mentioned about Nielsen data, that's one source, but then we also need to tee it up with what's going on with the macro environment. So what we do, we go into our repository of all of the PDFs and presentations, and even go onto the web and try and build a story of what's happening in the world beyond cereal. And then once we've done that, which can take up to 1 or 2 weeks, then we've got to read through it all. We've got to be able to build a story, be able to tell the insights, and then once we've done that, we've got a first draft, all of which can take over a month.
Wow.
Beyond that, it's iterations and continuing to work really hard on building that story.
So 2 weeks just to dig through, find the right insights, and really you're just summarizing articles. It's like a little book report on each article that you're trying to put together, and then say, okay, this article talks about this, I'm going to take some snippets from here, some snippets from there. That's 2 to 3 weeks, because it's not like the only thing you're doing, right?
No, got a day job as well.
Yeah, got a day job. On top of that, you're answering a question that, if answered correctly, what does it mean, right? If you can tap into what's happening in the market, here's what we're seeing, then what are the actions you take out of something like that?
The actions really are all about applying it to the business and being able to pivot when we need to pivot, perhaps taking a different strategy, perhaps thinking about, well, what's a competitor doing that we're not doing? It's all about being able to move fast and be agile. The longer these things take to do, the slower we are to market.
Yeah, it's extremely important, especially in the CPG space. How do you beat your competitors to the right strategy? What is the right strategy? And it all starts with that high-level question, what's happening, right? And why, and what are the drivers? And again, a months-long process, a month plus to answer this important question. I really believe with Max, with Copilots, we can cut that down to a week or less. I really do believe that. What are your thoughts on the power of what a Copilot can bring?
Well, what the Copilots can really bring that time element into it, and we can then redeploy the guys that are working on these questions onto perhaps less reading and more action. And as you say, in FMCG, the quicker the action, the better it is for our business.
That's awesome. Yeah, well, it's a really interesting use case. It's one we're super excited about. It's one that we're going to see grow over the next 1 to 3 months even, and one I can't wait to the next question that comes into your team. And whenever we can deploy Max on that, it's going to be a great day. So appreciate your time. Thanks for answering some of those questions, and thanks for watching.
Thanks, Joey.